When you think of American economic power, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and oil fields might spring to mind. But behind these towering symbols lies a quieter, mightier force, the Mississippi River. Flowing over 2,300 miles from Minnesota to the Gulf of Mexico, this waterway has long been America's hidden artery, fueling its agriculture, trade, industry, and even cultural identity. This is not just a river. This is the economic backbone of the United States. The story of the Mississippi is one of geography meeting destiny. It starts in the icy northern wilds of Lake Itasca, Minnesota, and meanders its way through 10 U.S. states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. With more than 250 tributaries, including the Missouri and Ohio rivers, the Mississippi drainage basin covers roughly 40% of the continental United States. This immense reach explains why the river touches nearly every aspect of American economic life. Long before Europeans arrived, the river was already a major trade route for Native American societies like the Mississippians, who built complex cities and economies along its banks. But it wasn't until the 18th and 19th centuries that the Mississippi became pivotal to a globalized economy. France and Spain both knew the river's importance and vied for control of New Orleans, the key to accessing the Gulf and international markets. When the U.S. completed the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, it not only doubled its territory, it secured control over the river. That single event laid the foundation for America's westward expansion and agricultural dominance. The river enabled the rise of the American interior. Without it, the vast plains of the Midwest would have been economically isolated. Steamboats changed everything. By the mid-1800s, steam-powered vessels turned the river into a floating highway. Crops, livestock, lumber, coal, and manufactured goods flowed like never before. Cities such as St. Louis, Memphis, and New Orleans boomed, becoming vital commercial hubs. Even today, more than 500 million tons of freight move on the Mississippi each year. That includes 60% of U.S. grain exports, nearly a quarter of coal exports, and large amounts of petroleum and chemicals. Barges, which are far more fuel efficient than trucks or trains, keep transport costs low, making American goods more competitive globally. One barge can move as much cargo as 16 rail cars or 70 trucks, using a fraction of the energy. The Mississippi also supports a staggering amount of agriculture. Its fertile floodplains are some of the most productive farmland in the world. From corn in Iowa to soybeans in Illinois and rice in Arkansas, the river basin is a breadbasket for not only America but much of the world. In fact, if the Mississippi River region were a country, it would be among the top agricultural producers globally. But agriculture is only part of the story. The river has powered industry as well. Riverfront cities became manufacturing giants, especially during the Industrial Revolution. Steel, shipbuilding, chemicals, textiles, all thrived thanks to access to cheap transport and abundant water. And as industry grew, so did population centers. Today, over 18 million people live in the Mississippi River corridor. There's also energy. The river hosts dozens of hydroelectric plants, refineries, and ports that handle oil and natural gas. In particular, the lower Mississippi region, near Baton Rouge and New Orleans, is a hub of petrochemical production. These facilities support thousands of jobs and supply much of the country's energy needs. Tourism and culture also play their part. The Mississippi has inspired writers, musicians, and filmmakers. Think Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, or the birth of blues music in the Mississippi Delta. These cultural exports have generated billions in tourism and entertainment revenue. However, the river's economic importance brings challenges. The Mississippi is prone to flooding, which can devastate entire communities and cripple supply chains. Climate change is making extreme weather more frequent, disrupting barge traffic and threatening crops. In 2022, for example, record low water levels caused massive delays in grain shipments, raising global food prices. Infrastructure is another issue. Much of the Mississippi's lock and dam system dates back to the early 20th century. Without modernization, the river's transport capacity could decline, harming exports and increasing road congestion. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is under pressure to upgrade these systems, but funding remains limited. Pollution is also a concern. Agricultural runoff creates massive, dead zones in the Gulf of Mexico, harming fisheries and marine life. Balancing economic use with environmental sustainability is a growing challenge that policymakers must face head-on. Yet despite these challenges, the Mississippi River remains irreplaceable. It is America's economic engine, quiet, slow-moving, but absolutely vital. From soybeans in Illinois to ships in the Gulf, the river connects farmers, factories, and foreign markets in a single, seamless chain. It is not just part of the U.S. economy, it is the U.S. economy. Next time you bite into a burger, fill your car with petrol, or hear a song from the Delta, remember, the Mississippi River likely had a hand in it. This waterway is more than just a ribbon of water, it is the lifeblood of a nation. Enjoying our deep dives into geographic power? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video about the forces shaping our world. What do you think is the most underappreciated river in the world? Drop your answer in the comments below. Subscribe for more geopolitical stories that shape the globe. Thanks for watching.